Welcome,
Yeah.
Jules, to Metallarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Catalyst, this new album, a different painting for a new world, and more things relating to the metal world. We're starting with a common question. How have you been during these crazy times? We started a pandemic 2 years ago, now a war in Europe. A lot of things happen now.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for this interview. Thank you very much for your time, for Catalyst, and for your review yet. Yeah, it has been a difficult time, I think, for everyone. Here in France, it has been a bit difficult at the beginning because we were close to Italy, you know, and the COVID started here in Europe, in Italy. So everything went a bit crazy at the beginning. But yeah, I think it was not too horrible for me. It was okay. I was with my family. I was studying. I had a lot of things to do, and I was writing a lot of things for Catalyst. So it was okay. But yeah, you know, as a band, we suffered from the cancellation for a lot of shows and things like that. But in the end, I think I am a bit lucky, and it was not the worst thing for me.
Well, okay, nice to hear. So one aspect that I didn't know from this, perhaps what you said you are dedicated to the into this pandemic to record and recompose. And those
Yeah.
could we say so? Could we say that is a different painting for the new world was composed and written during the pandemic, or perhaps was it when you finished the release the great purpose of the Four Lords?
Yeah, no, during the pandemic, it was the end of the process for writing the album. I started writing the album a bit before the release of the first album, The Great Purpose of the World, so in 2019. And yeah, the most of things from this album were written during the year 2019. 2020, so during the pandemic, it was the end of the writing process, and we recorded everything during the same year. So I don't think, you know, I don't think that the pandemic has really an impact on the album, but it allowed me some time to be sure of what we have been writing and what was going to be released.
Okay. Well, I see that your first album was released by Great Dane Records from France.
Yeah.
The label from Raphael. Well, I spoke with him a lot of times. So, but the second,
Cool.
this new album, a different painting for a new world, is released by Non-Serbian. So, for that, how was the transitions from the Great Dane Records now to Non-Serbian Records? And a curious thing, Non-Serbian Records is more related, more a label more related to the black metal, to the folk metal, pagan metal, etc., etc. And that's for me, that's curious to see a technical metal band with them.
Yeah. Well, you know, when we finished the process of recording this album, I tried to send this album to multiple labels, you know, just to try to have a different, different contacts to try things about that. And I was interested in Non-Serbian Records because I like the way they manage their band. You know, it's a small label, and they don't have a lot of bands. So when you don't have a lot of release per year, it can be a good thing for a band because the label may work better on the album. So I contacted the label Non-Serbian Records, and with with a SoundCloud link for the album, a private link for him to listen to the album. And I saw that he listened to the album because I can have the statistics on SoundCloud. And I saw that he listened to the album like 6 times, the full album before contacting me. And we had a great chat. We had multiple great chat with Ricardo, the manager of the label. And then I also saw that he was continuing to listen to this album, and like he listened to the full album from the first song to the last one like 30 times. So it was obvious for me that this label was really interested in our music and in what we were doing. So that's how we made a contract and everything. And it's been a year since we began to talk with Ricardo from Non-Serviam, and everything is perfect since now. Everything is good. It's a great label. It's a great manager and a great guy to talk with. Really human and really close to his band. It's really important for us, and I'm really happy with that.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So in this other aspect for this new album for you, what is the biggest difference that exists from your first album to this new one?
Um, for me, I think it's pretty clear that we gain in maturity for this album because we were pretty young when we wrote, sorry, the first album. The Great Purpose of the Laws was released in 2019, but it was written in 2016, 17, 18. And at that time, I was only 18 years old, 19. And you know, when you are young, it's it's obvious that you gain experience with the stage, with the recording process, with everything. I have everything to learn. Every day I am learning something new about music, and I think it's the most important difference between the first album and this new one. And I think that we managed to create something that is I don't know how to say, but yeah, it's more fluid from the beginning to the end. I think it's the biggest difference for me, and I think it can be pretty obvious for anyone that listens to both albums. But
Okay.
it's just my opinion, but I think it can be identified by other people too.
Okay. Well, talking about now of the lyrics, I saw that your both albums has your both has long names, the Great Purpose of the
Yeah,
Lord, and now
yeah,
a different painted for a new world. So that's
yeah.
a curious thing to see. So for that, in which books or in which areas do you inspire to put the names with the lyrics, etc.?
You mean what is my inspiration for
Yes.
writing
Yes. Yes.
the lyrics? I don't really know actually because I'm not someone that likes to read a lot. I don't read a lot of things. You know, I'm not a book guy or things like that. I like to play video games and not too much because I don't have a lot of time. But I don't really know where my inspiration are. But you know, with this band, we wanted to create one concept that you can that that is that how can I say, you have just one concept for the whole band, and each album is a chapter, for example. So
Mm.
the first album was the first chapter of his story, and this new album, the second one, is the second chapter of his story, and it will have another chapter with the next album and everything like that. So yeah, I don't really know where my inspiration are, but yeah, it's kind of sci-fi story with a bit of fantasy in the lyrics, and mostly it's that way because I didn't want it to talk about religion or politics and things like that, you know.
Mm. Okay. Well, during the last the last 5 years, I saw there are a lot of bands coming up, some from France, especially talking about the technical death metal.
Mm.
You, well, I saw the last 2 years ago, the one last year, Fractal Universe from
Mm-hmm.
France too, and one of my favorites bands from that Beatles of the nursery from there. There are great music from there. So why you decide to take this road, technical death metal, and why not black metal, or why not, especially why not the new sound that is involved with Gojira, High Cry, Spark Crown, and a lot of bands with
Yeah,
I think with a new wave of the French metal.
you know, I think it's a really interesting question, and I think I have a kind of already thought about the answer for this question because it's something that I ask myself. Um, you know, why are we playing technical death metal? And you know, I think that uh, it's other people, it's the label, people that saw us, that qualifies us as technical death metal. It's not really something that we wanted, because at the beginning we just played death metal. You know, when I write the song and I write for Catalyst, I know that it's death metal. And me and the other guitarist, Florian, we both try to make to just to give the best of ourselves on the song, and to always yeah, you know, get better with every song, get better when we are in terms of songwriting, in terms of sound, in terms of playing. And in the end, our way to build something better is to play something a bit more complex, a bit more technical. And I think that that is the reason why today we are really playing a death metal that is technical, because at the beginning it was really not that. We had released a first EP in 2017, and it was basically death metal, thrash metal, death thrash metal. And it was not really technical. And with time, with times, with the years passing by, we just try to get better. And I think it's the reason why today we can be qualified as technical death metal. But for me, it's death metal. For me, it's not really technical death metal, because it's not, you know that this album doesn't have really the sound like band for like Inferi or Obscura. We don't really have that sound. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't
See,
really I don't really I am not looking for that sound particularly. My inspiration comes from the old band like Cannibal Corpse, Death, and I'm not really too inspired by the modern bands like the Denit Passage or those things like that. I like these bands, but it's not my inspiration. So for me, in the end, it's death metal, and we play death metal because we like death metal, and it's the way. It's in this area that we are the best to write things, and not in black metal, things like that.
Nice to hear that. So now talking about the meaning of the name, because it's
Yeah.
for me, it's I'm curious about this, because when I see the cover for the first time, the Great Purpose of the Lord, I
Yeah.
always relate to the name Catalyst, because there are monks, or I think there are priests there trying to catalyze something from the other side. Then in the second album, you had a one people trying to catalyze other big people. So for you, what does exactly mean that the catalyst has for you?
So yeah. So as you said, so the name of the band stands for the main character of the story that we told throughout each album. So it's the story of the catalyst. That's why. So the name of the band is Catalyst. And if you want, I can sum up a bit. Yeah, summarize the story. And to keep it short, we are trying to tell a story of a parallel universe, of another universe, brought to life by 9 people that are called lords. So the word that you can find in the first album, The Great Purpose of the Lord. So it's 9 lords, and that creating that has created a universe. And among the 9 person, there is one entity that is called the creator, and that is the almighty entity amid the other who lost control. Yeah, the creator lost control over his own power. He broke down the equity and created chaos among his own creation. And the other lords, so the 8 lords that are here, were disunited from the creator, and they decided to reign upon the universe without the creator. So in the first album, they were looking for someone that could replace the creator, and that would be the catalyst of the forces of the 8 lords. That's why that's the great purpose of the Lord. The great purpose of the Lord is to find the catalyst, and they find the catalyst in the first album. And in this new album, so A Different Painting for a New World, it's the mission for the catalyst to break down the creator, to destroy the creator, to replace him, and to create a better world. And if you want, you can even try to take both names of each album and just make one. Because there are the lords, there is the catalyst, and the catalyst want to create a better world, a new world, something that is apart from what the creator has made, from the universe created by the almighty creator. And the great purpose of the Lord is to create a different painting for a new world.
Okay, that's interesting to see the whole concept from Catalyst. Well, now,
Yeah.
as you know, there you are probably a new band because you are started your career in 2016. 6 years later, you have two albums, two band, and you released these two albums by underground labels. Yet, so you know, there's a lot of music coming up every day, singles, EPs, albums per day. I think per day we can see 100 if we
I know.
just spoke about singles,
especially this year there is a lot of music in 2020.
yes, especially with digital platforms now are more
a lot of
faster than old days. So for that, for you, what is the biggest difference what for you, what is the biggest difference that exists for this a different vein for the world compared to a lot of music coming out every day?
You know, I'm not in competition with other bands. At the beginning, when I started the band, it's just because I like to write music. I just like to take my guitar, to be in front of my computer or just here in my space and to try to write things. And I really like the you know, I don't like EP, singles, things like that. I really like the album. I really like to have a full thing that is like 40 to 1 hour long. And as I said, I'm not really into competition with other bands. I just try to make my things, to give the best in my music with my musicians. And we just try to make music because we are passionate about that, and we just want to try to get this music heard by guys like you in the other side of the earth. It's amazing, and we don't really want to be to sell a lot of things just to be the biggest band ever. We play a music, a death metal that is not really popular. It's technical. It's not. It's not like heavy metal or over metal genre that can be heard by a lot of people. And we just want to try to make the best music, to write what we like, what we want to hear as ourselves, and that's it. In the end, we just want to try to give our best in the music.
Okay. Now, well, as I said, we spoke about other things into them, especially into the art in general. That's 1 month ago, 2 months ago, 2 months ago, with all the staff from Metallarium, we talk about now the artificial intelligence are now present in the art in general, especially when, especially a program, or I think a software, are released 3 or 5 months ago that they did when you put a little description or specific words, and this software create art. So it's amazing the result, because I saw a lot of these arts in YouTube with all songs like Megadeth, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath. So that's amazing. So for that, now we see that the artificial intelligence are more present into the arts, especially when in the music, especially in the arts and the visual aspect. And so in the music aspect, as you know, there's a lot of drum machines, there's a lot of guitar machines, bass machines, etc., and a lot of technology is involved with the music. So for that, what is your point of view when now are the artificial intelligence more present, especially in whole art? Music, art, so I think a lot of things more.
Well, it's another really interesting question. Thank you for this question. It's really nice to talk about those kind of things, I think. I've heard a lot of things about the artificial intelligence, and for example, just 1 month ago, things like that, or something about that. I seen on YouTube a video, a live video that is continuing creating gent metal. Have you seen that?
Yeah. No.
It's yeah. There is a video on YouTube that is constantly writing some new gent music based on the artificial intelligence. It's completely mind-blowing. I think that this artificial intelligence can be really good for a lot of things, but not for everything. For creating music, obviously, it's complete nonsense. For creating art, like artwork for the album, things like that, I think it has no sense because it doesn't have a soul. For example, the artwork we have for this album was created by a guy that had the album 1 year before the release, that had all the lyrics and that tried to make his best to create something that match the story, that match the lyrics, that match our music. And I really think that artificial intelligence will never be able to do something like that. But I think that we can use artificial intelligence in a smart way for some things. For example, when you write music, it's not really artificial intelligence, but you have the drum. For example, some drum sets, some that can be useful for for the beginning of the songwriting. Something I never use that, but I think it can be useful just to hear things differently. So yeah, why not? And I think that for example, for music video, I think it can be interesting. And I will tell you something. We have a video that will be released soon, a new video that we are about to make. Yeah, so in November, it will be released in November for the last song of the album, for the title track, for a different painting for you. We have a video for this song and some images in this video. So it's a complete animated video. We are not playing, it's all animated, and we have some images that were generated by artificial intelligence, but it's just the image. And you have a guy we have a guy that work on the video, and this guy is moving the things from the video. For example, he has generated one character and he make it move. And I think it can be a smart thing to work with things like that. When you use it with intelligence, I think it can be a good tool, but I don't think that it can replace everything, and it can't replace anything in music. In the creation of music, in the creation of artworks, it can just be a tool to simplify other things. For example, to simplify like this in a video, some images. It can be a good tool, but for the moment, that's my opinion. Maybe it can evolve, but it's already really I don't know how to say in English yet. It's really smart. As the tool itself is already really smart. The artificial intelligence is already really smart, and it can always be more, and maybe one day it will be too much. But I think today we can already use part of it, and it can be interesting in some way.
Interesting to know a lot about your new video, in animated video. I will see with some images created by the artificial intelligence. Will be great. That
you will say it's really cool. It's really cool.
Okay.
It will be a great video, I think.
Okay. So we are very close to this interview, Jules. And for that, what are the future plans that the band has for this new album? Perhaps European tours, or you say that you will do you will release a new video at the end of November. Perhaps or North American tour, Asian tour, or who knows, Latin American tours in the next couple of years. Who knows?
I would love to. For the moment, we will try, yeah, to expand a bit our name in Europe, because for the moment we just played in France and countries that are close to France, that are in the borders, and I would really like to play other shows in other places. So we are trying to work on that. It's one of the main things. And yeah, also we really want to create a lot of content for the internet. So a lot of video, a lot of playthrough for the guitars, for the bass, for the drums. I think it's something important, especially when we play something that is technical, because it's cool to see the instrument, and it's cool to see I like to see the videos like that. So it's okay for me to produce videos like that. So play through, maybe other music video for other songs, I don't know. And currently I will, no, not currently, but in a few days, I will also be working on some live videos we shot 2 weeks ago for the release of the album. So I would like to make a lot of videos for this album, and obviously to work on the new one, on the next album, for the first album, third album. Sorry, yeah, I will have to work for the third album, obviously.
Okay, so and man, as I said, we are very close. And for you, what is, if you have, if you are a producer of this, of a festival, and we talk just for the technical death metal stuff, so for you, which bands are you included in this tech death fest? Because you are next to the German. In Germany has a stronger technical death metal scene with a lot of bands there, Necrophages, no, Obscura, the bands, all bands. I don't remember the name from the drummer, but that's one of the greatest there. So he plays with Obscura, and when the Necrophages too. What's the name? I don't know. But Germany has a lot of.
You are talking about a French guy that
No,
is
no,
playing drums? He's playing drums?
no. Yes, drums. But I don't remember the name from uh, Hannes Grossman. Yeah.
Yes, Hans Grossman. Yeah,
Hannes Grossman.
he has this guy has a new band, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
don't remember.
He has
Obsidious.
yeah. Yes. He has a lot of new bands, and
Yeah.
all these kind of bands are technical death metal. Alkaloid, Christian Muetzer, Obscura, Obsidious.
Yeah.
So for that, which are your put your big 5 bands into the technical death metal playing YouTube?
Whoa, complicated question, because as I said before, I play kind of technical death metal, but I don't really listen to a lot of technical death metal. I know the band, I know the album, because I think it's the same for you. I listen to a lot of things. I always try to listen to new things, but it's not like I was always listening to the same album for technical death metal. I would say Aspire for sure, because Aspire is really excellent. Yeah, so Aspire. What can I say? In Fury, I really like In Fury. It's really good, and I think their show can be really awesome. So I really believe in them in my festival. There is a band that is pretty technical, but it's much more of brutal death metal. Do you know Cytotoxin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could include Cytotoxin. Can I include a more progressive death metal band, maybe?
It depends on you. No, don't worry.
Yeah, there is a new band that I discovered a few days ago. So when they released their album at the beginning of this month, it's an Abstract Illusion.
Okay.
It's a really great band. I really like their new album. So an Abstract Illusion can be on this festival, and why not Psychroptic, because the last album is really good too.
Okay.
The new Psychroptic with the Diving Council is really good. So it makes Aspire, In Theory, an Abstract Illusion, Psychroptic, and what was the last one? I don't remember.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a good festival. it will be a good festival.
Yeah, it would be. Well, Jules, the sad times are wrap at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one like me doing this one. So
Thank you very
congratulations
much.
for anyone. You saw our review and our
Yeah.
Metalero sign. So perhaps do you want to add something to your new Latin American fans and Metalero followers?
Well, first of all, I really like to thank you for this interview. I really appreciate to talk to you about our music because, as I said before, for me, I'm passionate about music, and just talking with someone like you at the other side of the planet, it's awesome. And I thank you very much for your question. It was really interesting. For example, for the technical death metal genre, when you asked me that, for the artificial intelligence, it was really interesting. And I hope to make new fans here at your country, and that people will like this album. Just listen to it, share it, and love it.